So let's take a look at just your setup in general to start with. Go ahead and take your grip. Okay, and hinge it up in front of you like this. Straight up, straight up, straight up. Don't let go. Okay, so when we put our glove hand on the club, there's a couple things we want. First, we want the fingers to go on the club at like a 90 degree. So they can't go on the shaft at an angle where the thumb sits kind of even with the rest of the hand. We want that thumb extended, showing that the fingers have wrapped at 90. Yeah, good. And then put the other thumb on. All right, see how much the thumb hangs down? That's a big deal. That's very good. Now put your other hand on. Okay, so the one thing to look for when you look down, you should probably see some of the back of your hand. So it might have to twist, yeah, a little more, and then extend the thumb. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so that's the first step. How you put the other hand on for now doesn't really matter. That's more of a curve thing. Okay, and the next piece in the setup, I want you to feel as though that you are almost setting up this way. Hands really low, bent forward. Yeah, the hands might go so low that the toe of the club comes off the ground a little bit. You might have to get a little farther from the ball. Okay, so that's way too much. You can tell, right? You're like, wait a minute, this is goofy. Okay, a little lower. Good, okay, hold it right there. So posture, body posture, awesome. Right there, and now turn your glove hand inward. Yeah, you want to see this today. That's a big logo, big sign for you. Okay, awesome. Go for it and make a swing. Starting with the setup, let's hit 5 balls and then we'll talk about the finish. One more time. Go jump into your posture. So it's easier to take your glove grip with the club straight up like that. And then from there, when it goes down, it should feel like it gets a little tense or some tension. That's okay. Yeah, really good. I like your shoes. Yeah. Okay, and now it's a little straighter with the legs. Straighter legs might make you feel like you bend forward a little bit. Good, there you go. Love that. Okay. Good. One more and we'll talk about the finish. Yes. Yes, good job. Okay, so that's the best finish you've had yet, but we're going to talk about it. So let's set up to a shot for me. So the way that we want to take divots, because I hope we take some really big divots soon, is that we want to create like a line. So if we put the ball here and you took a divot, that would just make this one longer until all of a sudden it's like we just make big lines. Any marks?
Yeah.
Just makes lines. So set up to this one. Okay, so we got the shaft straight. Yeah, thumb long, perfect. Okay, so hold it here. So this would be the middle of your feet, right? So ball position's in a great spot. All right, here's your target line this way. Now, this would be 90 degrees from your target line, and this is what I like to talk about for the finish position. So if this is mine, I like to make sure that my whole body is finished straight up along this line, like it's a big wall, okay? So once you've got yourself set up, we've got bent forward more, grip with the long thumb this way, right? In your finish position, try and feel like you've got all the way here, turned and all the way up to that line. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, we want that whole left side of you to get past the line I drew on the ground. Okay, not bad, one more. The grip being in the fingers like that with the long thumb is going to give you a chance to really make it work for you, but the way you had it before froze it up. And so that's a huge speed source we lost. So once the hand's on there, it almost is going to look like this. You're going to grip it that way, where you can see the back of your glove. You see a huge long thumb hanging down. Right, and then from here, you should be able to feel like you can wiggle and work this thing around all over. So grip with tight with the fingers, but loosen all that up, and this should feel like it whips around. Okay, so hold it there. Here's a little insight. So put your other hand on. Cool. So let's raise it up. Raise it up, hold it there. So now we got the arms and club like on a table, right? So the way that the wrists work in the swing is they work backwards where the arms and the club stays on the table and the face stays straight. What we don't do is lift the club off the table. So when you set up to your shot like this and you swing it back that way and you come through into the ball like that, that would be impact. So we've got this kind of flat, that guy's bent, that's straight, but we've taken your 6-iron and turned it into like a 4-iron because it's like leaning forward. But the big thing here is to understand that once the arms and club sit like fairly straight, that the wrists bend back and forward that way, not this way. Cool. That's a lot more theory than to do. Okay, so legs longer. Yeah, so can you feel like the brim of your hat points at the ball? Yeah, that's as low as we'd go, right there. Okay, and all the way to the finish. That's it, 100%. So talk to me about, like, what's your setup checklist? Yep, fingers at 90 to the grip and the thumbs long. And you can see some of that TaylorMade logo on your glove because it's wrapped over. Yep. Yep. Yeah, we want them almost long so you can bend forward at the waist a little bit. Good. Not bad. One more. Good shot. Okay, so talk to me about the finish. Where are we trying to get to at the end?
We're trying to push it onto the green.
Okay.
So that's been kind of my last few balls or so.
Yep, good target. Let me see one.
I'm finding myself maybe a little short sometimes.
Okay. All right.
But I've been a lot more consistent after I kind of switched the grip a little bit.
Cool. So one of the things that you'll learn as you keep playing golf is like strategy, how to actually play some of these holes. And what you'll notice is that your pitching wedge will go, let's say it goes 110 yards, but you're never going to hit it 120, but you will hit it 100 fairly often. So what I like to tell golfers is that you've got your number where you max out, but then you've got the number where you hit it like 7 out of 10 times. And then you have a window. So sometimes you play where you're, like you're maxed out, you're playing great, go to your good shots. But some days we're not playing very good. And it's like, just add 10 yards to the shot you've got so that when you miss it, you're still there. And one of the things that I notice, even when working with tour players, is that it gets to a certain yardage where the player no longer ever hits the ball past the hole. And for most club golfers, it's 145 yards from the hole is when golfers no longer hit it long. Right? Because no one's going to accidentally flush a 6-iron 20 yards long, but you're going to thin it 15 yards short very often. So understanding the miss and sometimes playing for the miss number is a really good strategy. Awesome, great sound, good contact, great finish all the way onto your front foot. So we talked about trying to get into that finish. Talk to me about it. Where is it? What do you do?
So when I finish, I want to
Good.
move my body before the club.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Love it. Good. Yeah. Okay, how about an 8-iron?
Same sort of thing.
You bet. Mm-hmm. Good. Thumb extended long. Perfect. Okay. Push your hands closer to the ground a bit. There you go. Awesome. The more you can lead with your body, the more power you get, but the more you start hitting the ground in front of the ball. So let me talk about that. Mike, come on over here and listen to this one. I think you might like this stuff. So when we're hitting this golf ball, the worst players, or the players that need the most help, are the ones who hit the ground back here, where you start looking at like the best player around here today might hit it there, where a pro might hit the ground over here relative to the golf ball. So it's our low point, or where the club starts hitting the ground. That's a very important thing in the swing. So if you want to be consistent or repetitive in something, it's how your club hits the ground, where in front of the ball you're hitting it. So if I'm going to hit this shot, I'll kind of measure it off for you. Right there. When this club hits the ground being in front, that's where the divot happens. So the divot starts in front of the golf ball, but we're noticing that the club also went through fairly square, because so did the divot. All right, so that's kind of what we want to see from the divot. But when it comes to actually hitting the golf ball, I kind of want you to have the intention of hitting the ground in front of the ball. Like staring at something close hand, like staring at right in front of it and saying, okay, well, that's where the club's got to hit the ball, right at the start of that divot. And you're going to start to have more of an intention of hitting down and forward instead of at, maybe under. So I want to start taking a look at that relative to where you're hitting the ground, to make sure that all the stuff we're working on plays into that, because that's how you're going to hit the ball better right away. So let's set up to that one on a good lie. Awesome. Okay, now hold your finish on this one. Way to go. That's awesome. Good job. So at setup, I think your feet are a little wide. It prevents you from kind of getting all the way to your front side. Grip looks great. Body before arms. You're moving it. I like it. Does it feel more body driven today?
Yeah, it feels a lot more like technique based and not just kind of luck. Before, I was having a lot of inconsistencies.
Totally. Yep. Yeah. I think the inconsistencies came from just the club delivery, not getting the club on the ball the right way. But once you start hitting it solid, it should do the same thing every time. Good. Really good. All the way to that front side, posted up, like up against this wall, is a big piece for you. All the way turned to the right. Yep. No, you were really good there. But when you get there early or first, before the arms come through, those are the straightest ones. When your arms come down first and pass your legs, and then you try to get there, not good. Just add a sequence. So what was the first thing we started with today?
First thing we started with was with the grip.
Yep.
Making sure that my fingers were tight, thumb was out.
Yep.
And I was looking at this TaylorMade thing all day.
Beautiful.
Something that's completely different than my old. Handles. Another thing was being a bit more loose, not so hunched and kind of knees bent.
Yep.
Now I'm a little more loose, laid back.
Shaft.
The shaft is a little bit lower.
Yep. That helps the thumb get long, by the way.
Yep.
Yep.
Definitely.
Hat
And,
down.
It just made it easier to kind of hit the ball, be more consistent with it.
Cool. Now, can you go right from here into the finish? Don't even hit the shot. Just go into the finish. Where are we trying to go in the finish?
When we go into the finish, we're gonna square up.
Okay, hold it there. Can you put your arms straight out in front of you? No elbow bend. Okay, not bad. One more time. Show me the finish like that, but no elbow bend. Awesome. Okay, that's where we want. So that's what we started with. Okay. Good job.